Welcome back to more Professor Layton and the Curious Village. In the last episode, I struggled a lot with one of the puzzles. I hope it didn't frustrate too many of you, I should say. Let me go ahead and see about any new journal entries that I have. So back to chasing Claudia. We've succeeded in procuring rooms for the night, but the town's only inn is undergoing renovations. As such, we'll be staying in the attic. At least I know we'll be safe. The innkeeper is a sturdy woman who no doubt knows how to wield a rolling pin when need be. Now back to looking for the cat. Wow. Okay. So, done with this. Let's head into the park. And there is the kitty cat. But first, I think there's a hidden puzzle here in the vase. That filthy jar reminds me of a puzzle I once heard. A glass jar holds a single germ. After 1 minute, the germ splits into 2 germs. 1 minute after that, the 2 germs each split again, forming a total of 4 germs. Continuing at this rate, a single germ can multiply to fill the whole jar in exactly 1 hour. Knowing this, how long in minutes would it take to fill the jar if you had started with 2 germs? Okay, so we're gonna have to do a little bit of math here. Let me change over to this screen. So it is saying that a single germ, every minute you're doubling the number of germs. Continuing at this rate, a single germ can multiply to fill the jar in 1 hour. So 1 germ, 60 minutes can fill the bottle. And that's doubling at every minute. Wow. So that's going to be a lot of germs. Knowing this, how long in minutes would it take to fill the jar if you got started with 2 germs? So they're growing exponentially. Would it be 59 minutes? Because you're really just knocking out that first minute to multiply from 1 to 2. Right? Because you start with 1 germ, and then 1 minute later, you have 2 germs, and then in 59 minutes after that, it fills the jar. So the answer should be 59. I'm really kind of overthinking this. Yeah, so 2 germs fill the jar in 59 minutes. Yeah, so it's gonna be 59. I almost said 69 as a Freudian slip there. Yeah, that's right. How long would it take you minutes? 59. I always get a little paranoid when the answer seems a little too simple. I always get a little paranoid. Let's see.
How does this sound?
There we go.
Layton's apprentice saves the day.
The answer is 59 minutes. It takes 1 minute for a single germ to split into 2. Therefore, starting with 2 germs instead of only 1 saves you just a minute. You're spot on. Excellent job. This jar is actually kind of neat. Why don't we take it with us? But my boy, it's covered in grime. What's this? Something's hidden inside the jar. I think you're right. Luke, reach your hand in and see what's inside, will you? Painting scrap. Very good. So now, let me finally get Claudia. Professor, there she is. Quickly then, use the fish bones. Here, Claudia, come here, girl. Meow. Meow. We've done it, Professor. Here she comes. Excellent. Now we can head back to Reinhold Manor. Meow. The fugitive feline, Lady Dahlia's cat, has escaped and now has been rescued. We've searched St. Mystere for the runaway feline. Having successfully caught Claudia, Professor Layton and Luke decide to head back to Reinhold Manor. Are you becoming accustomed to moving around and investigating Saint Mystere? Here's some advice to keep your investigation running smoothly. Some puzzles will disappear from their location in town as the story progresses. But there's no need to worry. Most of the unsolved puzzles are sent to Granny Riddleton's shack in the village square. Visit often to track down puzzles you passed up and work towards completing every puzzle in the game. Something doesn't seem quite right, Professor. Professor! Oh, it's simply awful. Come quickly, please. What's the matter, Matthew? If you're worried about the cat, we've brought her back safe and sound. Oh, well, Madam will be very happy to hear that. But this is no time to worry about a cat. Just hurry upstairs, right this way, please. So, you're the famous Professor Layton, then? The name's Chelmy, Professor Chelmy. I'm the inspector on this case. Well, I'd hardly call it a case if this is about Claudia. We've brought her back safe and sound. Oh, Claudia, my baby. Mama miss you so much. Meow. What's this cat doing here? Why on earth would you bring an animal into a crime scene? Have some sense. We were out when this crime took place and don't know what's going on. Could you please fill us in? There's been a murder, Professor. A man was killed here. What? Who was murdered? The victim was a resident of this address, one Simon Reinhold. Simon was... Approximately 2 hours ago, I received a report that a man had collapsed at Reinhold Manor. Upon arrival at the scene, it was apparent to me that Simon was already dead. I see. And the cause of death? I'm currently conducting an investigation to look into it. I'll just let you know right now, Mr. Layton, I'm looking at you as a potential suspect as well. The rest of the details concerning this investigation are classified. Speaking of details, who placed the call to the authorities? Are your ears clogged? You deaf? Didn't I just tell you those details are classified? Alright, everyone. I'll be taking statements from each of you in the other room. Come in one by one. And let me make this clear. Under no circumstances is anyone to leave until I've talked to everyone. So this has certainly taken a turn for the worse. Let me talk to some of the people here. Let me talk to Matthew. Matthew, did you notice any strange characters around the manor at the time of the incident? Not a soul, I'm afraid. I didn't even know about Master Simon until Inspector Chelmy showed up. And where is Simon's body now? I didn't see this, but I was told that the inspector carried the body out shortly after arriving. I see. Well, it looks like, for the moment, we are without a lead on this case. But you know, I found this in the room where Master Simon's body was discovered. What is this? I'm sorry to say I have no idea, but I thought it might be a clue, so I made sure to hold on to it. Amazing, it's a cog so small that one could search the room and miss it. Look, it has an engraving. Dropped cog was added to the list of mysteries. A small cog? Now that you mention it, I know a puzzle about an object that almost fits that description. What? Are you joking? A puzzle at a time like this? Okay. You are holding an 8-pointed shape with a red dot on it. If you hold the shape so that the red dot is in the position shown in diagram A and flip it over, you'll see a black dot as depicted below. Now assume that you are holding the shape as shown on the left side of diagram B. Where will the black dot be when you flip the shape over? Draw a circle around where you think the black dot should go. Okay. So I can't draw on this. So it looks like that the black dot is right here on A, because if you flip it over, then it appears over here. Does that make sense? It makes sense in my head. I'm just hoping it makes sense in your head as I explain it. So yeah, if the dot's right here and you flip it over, like with these arrows here, then the dot shows up here. So the dot is 2 spots to the right of the red dot. So on the bottom, it's going to be right here. And then if you flip it over horizontally, it's actually going to be right here where the red dot is. So it's going to be right here.
Luke, here's my answer.
That one was pretty easy for me. That's right. Take a look at the diagram for the answer. My apologies, but I'm afraid I don't know anything that would aid anyone in your investigation. Not at all. This small gear is more than enough for us to go on. But I do wonder why you're giving this to us. I believe you are a good man, Professor. I'm confident you will put this whole puzzle together. I appreciate the vote of confidence, Matthew. Alright, let me talk to this guy. He's my favorite.
Imagine a murder in this very house. It brings a chill to my spine, it does. You're a detective, are you not? Do hurry and find the monster that did that.
My good sir, I'm no detective. But I do agree that your concerns are certainly warranted. No one is safe until that criminal is behind bars.
My sentiments exactly. I just don't understand that. Simon could be snide, but he wasn't the type to be hated. If the criminal was after my brother's fortune, I could very well be this fiend's next target.
You have a point. If we narrow the motive to stealing the Reinhold fortune, there are few potential subjects. Suspects, I mean.
Oh, good gracious. You don't think I'd do something like that now?
Simon and I got along very
Well, I'll have you know, he was very close with Augustus, though. You know, all this talk of families has me contemplating a puzzle. I was heard.
You know, with a game like this, I gotta try some goofy voices. Why not? Maybe it made at least one person laugh. 6 brothers have gathered around a table to eat dinner. Each of the brothers is prone to fighting with the siblings directly above and below him in age and can't be seated next to either of them. So, above or below him in age and can't be seated next to either of them. Also, brothers 3 and 5 got into an argument the other day and refused to sit next to each other. The eldest brother, brother 1, has already sat down at the big table and is waiting for the others to start eating. Can you keep the seating arrangement that will keep everyone from fighting each other? Sorry, I paused there. I'm trying to digest the words here. So each brother is prone to fighting with siblings directly above and below him in age. Directly above or below him in age. And can't be seated next to either of them. Also, brothers 3 and 5 got in an argument the other day and refused to sit next to each other. So I'm assuming that... they're ranked in order of age, right? Like 1 is the oldest, 2 is the second oldest. So 2 cannot sit next to 1. So he would have to go there, maybe. And then 3 and 5 got into an argument and refused to sit next to each other. So then... maybe 6. And then we can put 3. That way he's not sitting next to 5 if I put 5 right here. And then, oh no, because then 4 and 3 would be next to each other. That's not good. So what if I do that instead? And then put 4 here. So that meets all the criteria, right? There are no consecutive numbers next to each other. And then 3 and 5 are not next to each other either. Oh, never mind. 2 and 3 are next to each other here. That's no good. Maybe like this. There you go. So 3, 1, and 6. 1, 3, and 5. 2 has 5 and 4 next to him. 4 has 6 and 2, so this works. And 3 and 5 are not next to each other, so this works.
There we go. Critical thinking is the key to success.
Good job. Sit the boys as shown and there shouldn't be any trouble. The mirror image of the seating arrangement is also a valid answer. Finally, a meal in peace.
Yes, that's the answer. Thank you for clearing that up. Thank you for clearing that puzzle, but we're still no closer to finding Simon's killer. I assure you, I had nothing to do with that, so please go out and find the real murderer.
Of course. I understand your position. It appears I am a suspect too. I'll find out what I can. Okay, very good. So let me talk to the inspector here. Is this everyone who is present at the site of the crime? I believe we are missing Raymond, sir. Raymond? Where is he and what on earth is he doing? Matthew, fetch Raymond at once. To be honest, madam, thinking on it, I've not seen Raymond for a few hours now. What? Don't tell me he was taken as well. No, hold a moment. He's a suspect too. Perhaps he fled the scene of the crime. Where could he be at a time like this? What if the murderer got Raymond too? Alright, let me talk to Matthew again. Hey, where did Lady Dahlia go? I believe Madam has retired to her adjoining room to relax on her own. She's a strong woman, but it's only natural that she'd rest after a terrible event like this. Very well then, would you please let her know that I have something I'd like to talk to her about? But of course, Professor, please wait here. Lady Dahlia might act like an ice queen, but I guess even she was shaken by today's events. Luke, if you wish to ever become a true gentleman, you'll need to start showing a little bit more sensitivity. Oh, of course, Professor, I apologize. That was wrong of me. Madam will see you now. Just go back through that doorway on the left. Okay, let me do just that. Lady Dahlia, I have a deep suspicion this murder is connected to the mystery of the golden apple. What? It's too early to say for sure, but I think that it is highly probable the two matters are linked. And you think that Raymond is somehow involved in all this? Potentially, yes. However, as of yet, we don't have enough information to draw any solid conclusions. I see. If that is the case, I have a request for you, Professor. Find Raymond and bring him back to me here. It sickens me that I am being considered a suspect in this brutal crime. I must prove my innocence at once. As you wish, Lady Dahlia. We will ask around town to see what we can find. I appreciate your help, Professor. Well then, I'll be waiting for good news in the parlor. So, Chapter 3, The Missing Servant, comb St. Mystere for clues about Raymond's disappearance. Not gonna save yet, not the end of the episode. So, there are hidden coins here. In the flower. In the chair. Up here. In the curtain. Let me take a look at this picture. It's a nice little family picture there. Look at this picture. What is it, Professor? Oh, isn't that Lady Dahlia? She's holding a baby. That baby must be Baron Reinhold's daughter then. Flora was her name, wasn't it? Gosh, what a cute baby. Lady Dahlia hasn't changed much, has she? You know, Luke, they say true beauty never ages. I suppose so, Professor. But even so, it makes me wonder. Maybe we can ask Lady Dahlia about it. Alright, so not much to do here now. Let me leave. Let me talk to Dahlia. Pardon me, but we happened upon your adorable picture of you and your daughter Flora a moment ago. I beg your pardon? The picture of you holding a baby. The one that sits in the next room. I'm sorry, but you must be mistaken. I've never had any children. Huh? My apologies, madam. I must have been mistaken. At any rate, time is of the essence here. Go find Raymond and bring him back, would you? If that's not Lady Dahlia in the photograph, then who on earth could it be? I think we do well to ask the butler a few questions. Perhaps he can clear this up for us. Let me talk to the inspector. By the way, Mr. Layton, I hear you're something of a puzzle connoisseur. This puzzle was popular in London when I left. I wonder if you have what it takes to solve it. Have to impress the inspector here. So far, I've only missed one puzzle. 5 suspects are called into the police headquarters for questioning. They give the following statements. 1 of the 5 of us is lying. 2 of the 5 of us are lying. I know these guys, and 3 of the 5 of us are lying. Don't listen to a word they say. Out of the 5 of us, 4 are lying. All 5 of us are dirty, rotten liars. The police only want to release the suspects who are telling the truth. How many people should they let go? That's a tricky one, man. That is a tricky one. So I gotta find which of these statements are contradicting each other. Oh, man. The police only want to release the suspects who are telling the truth. So even if they didn't commit the crime or whatever, if they're lying, the police want to keep them. So 1 of the 5 of us is lying. That's what A is saying. B says 2 of us are lying. So those 2 statements cannot be true. I don't know, it kind of messes up your brain a little bit because I don't know, because what if A is telling the truth that only 1 of them is lying? Oh man, I'm not gonna do good on this one, I can already tell. So 1 of them says 1 is lying, 1 of them says 2, 1 of them says 3, 1 of them says 4. The question is for suspect E. All 5 of us are dirty, rotten liars. So if that is true, then she is including herself, and she herself is a liar. Right? So that cannot be true. Because if she is telling the truth, she herself is a liar. And if she's a liar, she is not telling the truth. So E is definitely a liar. So I'm gonna mark her here. She's definitely a freaking liar. And now we just kind of have to think about the other ones. Four of us are lying. That doesn't make much sense. Four of us are lying. If 4 of us are lying, then wait a second. Doesn't this just kind of work itself backwards? Because D is saying that 4 of us are lying. Well, I guess that would include E. So if he were telling the truth, E, A, B, and C are all liars. So it is possible that he is not a liar. What about C? He says 3 of them are lying. So it would be E, maybe D and A, which would mean that A is telling the truth and C is telling the truth. But if A is telling the truth, then it would say that only one of them is lying. So they all contradict each other. They all contradict each other. So only one person is telling the truth. Yeah, they all contradict each other except for D, because D would say that everybody is lying except for him. But then if you inspect any other statement, it contradicts itself. So D is the innocent suspect here. So they should only let one person go, and they should only let D go.
There we go.
There we go, nice. That took me a little bit longer than it should have. Sometimes these puzzles kind of scramble your brain a little bit. That's right, every suspect accused a different number of people. If anyone was telling the truth, it had to be only one suspect, no more, no less. The only suspect whose statement fits the condition is D. It looks like he's a free man now. I suppose I should have given you a tougher puzzle to solve. You do best to use that brain of yours to find that golden apple everyone is abuzz about. Okay. And then there's not much else for me to do here for now, so let me leave. And then let me talk to my good friend Matthew. Ah, Matthew, do you have a moment? Certainly, sir. How can I help you? It's about the picture of Lady Dahlia upstairs, the one of her holding a small child. Ah, yes, about that old picture. That's not Lady Dahlia, I'm afraid. It's a picture of Baron Reinhold's former wife. But I certainly understand why you would mistake one for the other. They were virtually identical in their appearance, their gesture, and even in the way they moved. So that photo isn't of Lady Dahlia, but of an earlier wife of the Baron? Wow, imagine finding someone who looks that much like you. What are the odds? Is there a chance the two were relatives of one another? I've never heard anything to suggest as much, sir. It just happened one day. The Baron arrived home, and at his side was Lady Dahlia. I'm sorry to say that's all I really know about the matter. Not at all. You've been most helpful. Thank you, Matthew. How odd. The more I hear, the stranger the whole affair starts to sound. Very mysterious indeed. Okay, so we are going to head outside and start trying to solve some of these mysteries, but we will do so in the next episode. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to leave a like on the video, and I will see you next time.
Thanks for stopping by the Renaissance Gaming Monastery. I hope you join our community on Discord and Twitter. These videos are produced with a lot of hard work and love. If you think they're worth $1, I'd be grateful for your contribution. You can send a thanks donation or become a member on YouTube. You can also support through PayPal, Patreon, or even with cryptocurrency. All links are in the description. See you on the next video.